you can see, some of my tomatoes are not looking their best, mostly because the wind has blown them over a little bit in the couple of minutes they've been sitting out here, which, you know, wind is like the major enemy of tomatoes. But I can help that by planting them a little bit deeper. These eventually are going to go in my straw bale garden, but for right now I need to separate them because I seeded 2 in a cup just in case both seeds didn't germinate. So in a lot of the cases, because I have a lot of them in the house, this is just a sample, most of them did. Both seeds germinated. In some cases, like these guys over here, they're 3. I guess I got heavy-handed with the seeds in that cup. But because they're growing and they're using nutrients, they are robbing each other of nutrients. So I need to separate them. And then after I separate them, I'm going to put them deeper in the cups. Because when I originally sowed the seeds, I put the soil about halfway up the cup, and then I sowed the seeds 1/4 inch deep according to the package. And then as they got a little taller, I filled the soil up to the top, and as I've watered, it's compacted and it's gone down. But the nice thing about tomatoes, you can't do this with everything, but you can do it with tomatoes. You can plant further up the stem. So I can put these deeper. That'll help sturdy them up. That'll help them become more hardy so that whenever they are finally planted, they won't be blowing around as much. Unfortunately, where I live, there is a lot of open space and I have a lot of wind. So I need these guys to be pretty sturdy. Obviously, I'll stake them and I'll, you know, do things to help support them once I actually plant them. But for now, I can plant them deeper and that'll help them. So I have my tub of topsoil, and then I have my additional cups. And I do have holes in the bottoms of these cups so that when I water them, I can either water from the bottom, because I have them all in a big tray. So I can water from the bottom, or I can pour through the top, and then the excess water will drain out the bottom. And I have to say, all of my tomatoes have been heirloom tomatoes. I have Amish paste tomatoes and then Italian heirlooms, and they don't seem to like to be watered, which is weird for tomatoes. They get wilty when I water them, and then they get really happy when they're dry. And right now, these ones are kind of dry, but they look sad because, again, the wind. So here we go. All right, so I'm gonna hold on to the tomatoes, and then it's just like unpotting any other plant. I'm gonna squeeze the cup to loosen the soil while holding on to the plants. Trying to get them loosened up here. All right, okay, there we go. So you gotta make sure that you're not hurting the roots at all, so you wanna be a little gentle. So I'm gonna keep one of the cups because I'm gonna put one of these guys back in. And these little hairs make them so grippy. All right, go over there, you. Okay, so let's get these guys apart. Their roots are really grown together. Let's see. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's get this guy. And I'm gonna put some soil back in the cup. Not a whole lot, I filled it up to about right here because again, I need that depth for stability. So I'm gonna set them in there, and then I'm gonna use some of the soil that I took out. And I'm gonna use some of the new soil because it has more nutrients in it because, you know, things haven't been growing in it. All right, so I've put the soil in up to this set of leaves here, and I don't want to cover the leaves, but I do want to try to get the soil as high as I can because this is pretty dry. I did water them yesterday afternoon, but the soil has dried out quite a bit. I keep them in my spare room, and it stays pretty warm in there. So, and I have a fan going, trying to keep airflow good, because if you don't have proper airflow, you could develop mold. So I'm just gonna smush this down just a little, but not too much because you don't want to hurt those roots. But I think that's good.